This is one of the sleekest regional business products in the air. A new seat type that debuted with Oman Air, a gorgeous home lounge, and a 737 MAX that is only 6 years old. So you'd expect everything to work, right? It turns out these seats already have some stories of their own. After a short time in Oman, I decided to make a detour to Riyadh before heading home. This was the perfect chance to check out Oman's regional business product and their home lounge right here in Muscat. Check-in was quick and efficient, and I headed straight up to level 5. Through the golden gates and into an unmistakably Omani space. Now, Oman Air is a boutique airline, but they have invested in a business lounge that punches well above its weight. This would hold its own against the flagship lounges of much larger carriers, without question. I arrived late morning, just catching the tail end of breakfast, which includes an a la carte option if you want it. I kept it simple, picked a few bits myself. By the time I finished breakfast, they had already switched the buffet over to lunch, and the spread on offer is properly impressive. Towards the back there is a quiet zone with curtained off booths with chase lounges if you need to rest before your flight. But it gets better, they also have private bedrooms you can book. Each one has a desk, a lamp and a sofa-style bed with proper bedding. A lovely touch and almost a 10 out of 10 if only they had put a proper single bed in there rather than a sofa bed, so close. The restrooms here are up there with the likes of Cathay, which feels more like a spa than airport facility. There are several shower rooms, well kitted out with towels, amenities, the works. It is slightly more compact than the old first-class showers next door, but very adequate. There is also an ablution and prayer area, which is a thoughtful inclusion for this part of the world. Outside, there is a large terrace for plane spotting, which I would have lingered on if the midday heat hadn't been absolutely punishing. I can only give top marks for the lounge. Solid food, excellent private rest options, well maintained throughout. For a boutique airline, this is a remarkable offering. Right, time to board. Our aircraft today is a Boeing 737 MAX, delivered to Oman Air in 2019. Boarding was well managed, and stepping on board, first impressions are strong. Oman Air's 737 MAX has 12 business class seats in a 2-2 configuration. These are the Collins Aerospace AirRest, a seat that debuted with Oman Air. Cathay Pacific also use a version of this on some narrowbody aircrafts. The numbers are strong, 21 inches wide with 46 inches of pitch. For a regional product, that is legitimately generous. There is a small slide-out privacy partition, though in honesty it doesn't do an awful lot. The recline is an enhanced cradle style, and these are fixed shell seats, so when you recline, the seat moves forward rather than back. The person behind you is completely undisturbed. On a flight that can stretch up to 6 hours, that matters. The IFE screen is 17 inches HD, with a remote in the center console alongside the seat controls. You also get a water bottle holder, literature storage up front, a reading lamp positioned exactly where it should be, and a universal outlet tucked under the console. The bifold tray table deserves a mention. Large, very sturdy, and it locks open with proper confidence.
about a bit about from economy to international group and economy to business class. We accept all credit card and debit card.
During boarding, the crew offered a cold, refreshing towel and a choice of drinks. I went for a fresh mint juice, which was a lovely way to start.
ولكننا ننصح بإبقاء أحزمة الوقائع المربوطة تحسبا لأي مطبات جوية غير متوقعة. في حالة وجود الضغط.
And off we go. Muscat International has 2 runways, each stretching over 4 kilometers. Last year, it handled just over 13 million passengers, modest by Middle Eastern standards, and still slightly below its pre-pandemic peak. It is the main hub for both Oman Air and Salam Air. Interestingly, no European airline currently serves Muscat directly. British Airways has operated this route on and off over the years, but not right now. If you have never flown over this part of the world, the landscapes are just remarkable. Vast, dramatic, almost otherworldly in places. The crew took meal orders not long after takeoff. About 40 minutes in, lunch was served. I went for the lamb shua focaccia, which came with a side salad, couscous, hummus, Arabic bread, and a small dessert. There was no separate drink service before the meal. Everything came together. It was all generally tasty, but I have to be honest. This is a lunchtime flight, 2 hours in the air, business class, on a Middle Eastern carrier. What arrived was more of an elevated snack than an actual lunch. The main was essentially a small pie. I didn't eat much of the lounge food entirely to save myself for this. Instead, I landed in Riyadh, hungry. After the trays were cleared, I requested tea, which came with a biscuit. And now those stories I promised you at the start. You may have noticed I changed seats halfway. Shortly after boarding, I had noticed the panel on the seat in front already coming loose. This was cosmetic, which didn't affect me in any way. But then once airborne, my IFE had no sound, at all. The crew tried, they could not fix it. About 30 minutes in, I moved to a middle row seat, and a bigger issue surfaced. These seats have an electric recline. After lunch, I realised my new seat moved back about 2 inches, then stopped. The seat right next to me fully reclined, exactly as it should. And this is where it becomes a real problem. This aircraft flies sectors of up to 6 hours. A seat that won't recline on a 6-hour flight is not a minor inconvenience. It would be a poor experience. 3 separate faults on a 6-year-old aircraft. A quick look at the lavatory, which was spotlessly clean and fully stocked. No complaints there at all. And before I knew it, we were already on approach into Riyadh. So, the final word on Oman Air's regional business product. The lounge in Muscat earns top marks, solid food, excellent private rest options, well maintained, and for a boutique carrier, a properly impressive operation. If you are connecting through Muscat, make time for it. The Collins AirRest seat is a smart product on paper. Generous dimensions, fixed shell design, and on a good day it would be one of the better regional business seats flying. The crew were warm and professional throughout. No complaints there. But the seat reliability, 3 faults on a 6-year-old aircraft, is hard to overlook. A loose panel is cosmetic. A broken IFE is frustrating. A seat that will not recline on an aircraft that flies 6-hour sectors is a problem that needs fixing. and the food. For a lunchtime business class flight on a Middle Eastern carrier, a snack is not lunch. Sort those two things out, and this becomes a very easy recommend. Right now, it sits somewhere between promising and poor value, and Oman Air, frankly, are capable of better. This was mid-May, and Saudi Arabia in that heat is a whole other story. I have another Saudi trip coming up, so a Saudi business class review will be on the channel very soon. Stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.